Battle through the firmament. Great World. Chapter 486. Two Dao Emperors. The inner city of Shaoclan had returned to its usual calm state. It was as if nothing had happened in the past, which was enough to change the color of the sky and the earth. In one of the residences in the inner city, Shaoyan held his breath and focused all his attention on the starlight silent step. Apart from the heavenly monic fire-burning body, this was the second holy arts he had obtained. Unlike the former, he didn't cultivate any star power, so it would take him a lot of effort to learn it. Star power. Zhu Xingyu seems to have practiced this kind of ultimate skill before. Sitting in a pavilion, Shaoyan pursed his lips. He recalled the time when he was in Star Moon Island's profound crystal realm. The ultimate skill that Zhu Xingyu used was not much weaker than Zhu Buyi's ultimate skill. Zhu Clan. He sighed. Shaoyan had given up on this idea. As one of the four major families in the star field, the Zhu Clan's foundation was much stronger than the Shao Clan's. With his current ability, he really didn't have the ability to do business with the Zhu Clan. If I can't control the power of the stars, then this starlight silent step won't be able to reach its true strength. At most, it can be considered a monic arts. He shook his head helplessly. Shaoyan's eyes were filled with unwillingness. The difference between the holy arts and the monic arts was too great. They were on completely different levels. Calming his heart down, Shaoyan combed through all the cultivation techniques he had practiced. No matter if it was the Four-Spirit Emperor technique or the Yin Scroll Jade Fairy gave him, there was not a single cultivation technique that involved the power of the stars. This path was also easily sealed off. When we arrive at the academy, we will ask a few elders. After pondering for a moment, Shaoyan gave up on the idea of asking the Shao Clan's great elder. He was in the Shao Clan, and he possessed the monic flame. He had already been coveted by many people. If the news of the starlight silent step was found out by those elders of the Shao Clan who harbored evil intentions, he would be in an extremely dangerous situation. Putting aside the cultivation speed of the starlight silent step, Shaoyan once again focused his attention on his origin key cultivation. After such a long period of time, he had even gone through 2 months of trekking in the woods of Star Moon Island. His origin key had finally reached a saturation point, and he could break through to the second monic emperor at any time. In the headquarters of the Shao Clan, Shaoyan did not have as many concerns as he did in the past. He raised his fingers. In an instant, countless origin monic kiss seemed to have received a call as they crazily rushed towards the former. Boundless origin kiss rushed over and wrapped around Shaoyan. The unusual movement of the origin kiss in this area instantly attracted the attention of Laying and Yanjin. Although their strength was low, they had received quite a bit of influence in the Shao Clan over the past few days. They knew what the different intensity of the origin kiss represented. When they saw Shaoyan's actions not far away, they sucked in a breath of cold air. This fellow is stronger than I imagined. Laying withdrew from his cultivation. He looked at Shaoyan and clicked his tongue in admiration. However, there was a sense of helplessness in his tone. That youth, who was like an ant in their eyes, had not only surpassed them, but had also reached an unimaginable level. After all, this is the bloodline of the Shao Clan in the Fighting Dao Qi continent. Now that the bloodline power has been stimulated, it's only natural that it has reached this level. The corner of Yanjin's eyes twitched slightly. A hint of envy appeared in his eyes, but he still comforted himself. Shao Clan, it's hard to believe that even you and I, as the patriarchs of the 8 families, don't know about this. Laying sighed and didn't say anything else. He looked at the youth in the pavilion with a complicated expression. Don't think too much. Our current situation is the lowest existence in the great world. Yanjin narrowed his eyes and looked at Laying. Ever since Laying came to the great world, his fiery temper had obviously been restrained. After saying that, Yanjin sat down on the stone bench once again. It had to be said that the solid foundation cultivation technique given by the Shao Clan was not bad. For newbies like them, after cultivating, they felt that their ki was continuous, and the visual perception had been improved. In just a few days' time, the two of them had already reached the level of a 6-star Dao sovereign. With the help of the Shao Clan's resources, they could almost advance to the sovereign realm with 100% success rate. Hu. Dense origin monic kiss kept bombarding Xiaoyan's body, continuously entering his body. The latter's limbs and bones were like bottomless pits, greedily dividing up the huge origin kiss that had entered his body. Within his body, a red origin chains that emitted a red glow was like a bridge that spanned across the heavens and earth. Its aura was shocking, as if a king had descended. The huge origin key that entered his body followed the meridians of the flame mantra and entered the origin monic crystal. After that, it surged out again, quickly forming the second origin chains. Hualaya. A moment later, under the continuous collision of the boundless origin kiss, the sound of metal colliding suddenly resounded. In the next moment, a scarlet-red chain was formed with a loud bang. With a light buzzing sound, an endless scarlet-red aura spread out, causing all the organs that came into contact with it to be strengthened a step further. Boom! At the same time, Xiaoyan, who had his eyes closed for a long time, suddenly opened them. In his eyes, the dense crimson aura finally dissipated. Within his body, a crimson aura was like a rainbow. It rushed out from the top of his head and an enormous aura burst forth. It blasted the pavilion into dust, and the surging aura had yet to spread. It slowly dissipated. Not simple. However, with 2 Monic Emperor Ki, their Ki can already rival 7 or 8 Monic Emperor Ki. Before Xiaoyan could recover his senses, the Great Elder's voice had already reached his ears, causing him to be slightly startled. He focused his gaze and looked at the Great Elder in front of him. Xiaoshanye ran away. Seeing the Great Elder's calm smile, Xiaoyan's heart skipped a beat, and he asked uncertainly. He ran away. The Great Elder nodded his head lightly. There was no change in his expression. Almost all the elders of Shao Clan were sent out, but he still managed to escape. This might be the will of the heavens. At the level of the Great Elder, he had started to attach importance to the so-called will of the heavens. Therefore, he didn't have too much of an emotional fluctuation. Xiaoyan didn't know what to say when he heard this. Although he had guessed that Xiaoshanye could escape, he still found it hard to believe that Xiaoshanye could escape from the hands of so many heavenly sovereign expert and monic cultivation warriors. Even he himself didn't have the ability to do so. Right now, I'm just worried about one thing. If Xiaoshanye is controlled by the soul demon, with his talent, if he reaches the heavenly sovereign, I think no one in the Shao Clan can stop him. The Great Elder's eyes suddenly turned gloomy. He gritted his teeth and spoke with a heavy tone. Xiaoyan's heart skipped a beat. He instantly imagined the scene described by the Great Elder. Currently, Xiaoshanye was able to escape from the hands of many experts. If his strength were to skyrocket in the future, no one knew how terrifying he would be. Fortune and misfortune. I wonder if Xiaoshanye's appearance at this time has anything to do with the recovery of the soul demon. The Great Elder shook his head, and a serious expression emerged on his face. He was certain that Xiaoshanye would become one of the overlords of the star field or even the great world. I reckon that the news of the elders of Shao Clan going out has already been discovered by many major powers, especially the Thunder Cloud Clan. They have always wanted to replace Shao Clan as one of the 4 major families. I reckon that they will investigate this matter thoroughly. If you go out from the inner city, they will definitely target you. Therefore, if you want to go to the Yunlo Academy, you must be prepared to face the endless pursuit of the Thunder Cloud Clan. Chapter N. Battle Through the Firmament. Great World. Chapter 487. Slaughter. On a field far away from the Taiching mansion, smoke curled up from a kitchen. The village consisted of nearly 100 families. Under the afternoon sun, the scene appeared peaceful and tranquil. Swoosh! Suddenly, a spatial crack appeared in the dense forest not far from the village. A young man tumbled out of the pitch-black void and landed heavily on the ground. Phew! 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 Xiao Tianye lay on the ground, his face pale. To escape the Taiching mansion, he had expended a great deal of his origin energy, finally breaking through the layers of formations set up by the Xiao clan throughout the prefecture. Completely exhausted, he fell out of the spatial crack. Fortunately, I have the protection of the heavenly phoenix flame. Otherwise, I really wouldn't have made it out. Struggling to his feet, Xiao Tianye wiped the sweat from his forehead. His sharp eyes scanned his surroundings, and only after confirming there was no immediate danger did he heave a sigh of relief. Those old bastards from the Xiao clan shouldn't be able to find this place for now. Even with the vast influence, they can't cause much trouble outside the Taiching mansion. Xiao Tianye slowly walked out of the dense forest. He seemed to have a deep understanding of the Xiao clan. With a cold sneer, he gazed at the small village in the distance. Just you wait, old fools. Once I recover, it will be the end for you. A trace of killing intent flashed in Xiao Tianye's eyes. He moved swiftly toward the village. A wisp of golden flame followed him like a shadow, easily scorching the air ahead. Without air resistance, Xiao Tianye seemed to teleport, arriving at the village entrance in an instant. I must recover my strength as soon as possible. If I run into anyone from the Xiao clan now, I'll be in real danger. Standing before the village, Xiao Tianye pondered for a moment. He tightened his tattered black robe and strode inside. Xiao Tianye, whatever, it doesn't matter what my name is. I can't be bothered to remember. Muttering to himself, Xiao Tianye fixed his gaze on a few burly middle-aged men carrying farming tools in the distance. They were chatting and laughing as they walked out of the village, likely heading to the fields. Hey, delivering yourselves to my doorstep. How convenient. A strange smile curled at the corner of Xiao Tianye's mouth. A dark glint flashed in his eyes. In the next moment, he shot forward. The golden flame in his hand transformed into several furious lightning bolts that pierced through the men with blinding speed. Swoosh, swoosh. As the lightning bolts returned to his body, Xiao Tianye took a deep breath. His pale face regained some color, as though he had received a great boost. This flame is impressive. The heavenly flame of the Golden Emperor, a phoenix's ability to undergo nirvanic rebirth. And each rebirth increases one's strength. You old fools from the Xiao clan never saw this coming, did you? Xiao Tianye paused for a moment, sensing the recovery of his injuries. A look of sudden understanding and joy crossed his face. Without a glance at the collapsed men, he absorbed the faint wisps of origin energy emanating from their bodies and soared into the air, looking down at the entire village below. The village was not without experts. A thin old man standing on the stargazing platform in the village cried out in shock when he saw Xiao Tianye floating midair. Living close to the Taiching mansion, he had seen many experts capable of aerial movement. Such power did not surprise him, but it was the first time he had seen one take interest in their small village. Grandpa Xu, is that an expert flying in the sky? Beside the old man, were several children of similar age. One of them, with thick eyebrows and large eyes, exuded a heroic aura. Guided by the old man, he quickly spotted Xiao Tianye in the air and spoke with anticipation. The old man was the strongest in the village, already at the emperor level. To them, he was the pinnacle of strength. That's right, all of you should cultivate diligently. If any of you are chosen by the Xiao clan and enter their subsidiary sect, you too can become such experts. The old man smiled, encouraging the children. Then he looked up at the sky, puzzled. Why would such an expert pay attention to their insignificant village? Perfect. With a few hundred people, I should be able to recover half my strength. Standing in the air, Xiao Tianye looked down at the village with an expressionless face. He smirked coldly and extended his hand. A ball of golden lightning flame appeared in his palm, within which a small phoenix wreathed and wailed, unable to break free. Just stay put. You tried to devour me earlier. Xiao Tianye snorted coldly at the little phoenix trapped in the flame. With a shout, hundreds of golden lightning bolts burst forth from the flame, raining down like blossoms falling from the sky. Rumble. Hundreds of golden lightning bolts descended like furious serpents. In an instant, The village faced apocalypse. Every lightning bolt accurately pierced through each person's chest. Not a single cry was heard as they powerless collapsed. The lightning serpents carried their life origin energy back into the sky, funneling into Xiao Tiany's body. Xiao Tianye relaxed his arms, nourished by the life origin energy. He couldn't help but let out a comfortable moan. The sensation was exquisite. He could even feel the nearly extinguished life force within him slowly rejuvenating. The phoenix's rebirth truly is remarkable. After a long while, all the life origin energy dissipated. Xiao Tianye smirked and laughed without sparing a glance at the deathly silent village. In a flash, he sped off into the distance. In the village, everyone had perished. Not a soul survived. Each chest bore a piercing wound. At the observatory in the village center, an old man knelt on the ground, a bloody hole through his back. Beneath him, 2 children also lay lifeless. Even as the old man tried to shield them with his body, he could not escape the lightning's slaughter. Boom, boom. In a mansion within the inner city of the Xiao clan, 2 powerful auras erupted. Yan Jin and Lei Ying rose to their feet, joy evident on their faces. Upon closer inspection, both had advanced to the sovereign realm. Not bad. They broke through to the sovereign realm in one go. Their foundations are indeed solid. In the distance, Xiaoyan and Xiao Yi stood watching. Xiao Yi smiled and remarked casually, "We've waited many days. Finally, it's happened." Xiaoyan smiled without further comment. There was no need to discuss the foundations of these two. Advancing to the sovereign realm in one step was only natural. "I plan to take them to Yunlo Academy tomorrow." After a moment's thought, Xiaoyan spoke casually. "Perfect. I need to go there as well. Although the 4 academies competition is over, and staying at Yunlo Academy holds little meaning for me, the capital of chaos is an interesting place." The corner of Xiao Yi's mouth lifted slightly. "I hear the capital of chaos is quite lively right now. It's worth a visit." Chapter N. Battle Through the Firmament. Great World. Chapter 488. And then come to the City of Chaos. 1 month later, within the Xiao clan, Xiaoyan, Yan Jin, and Lei Ying were led by Xiao Ling to a corner of the outer city, blending into the endless crowd. Naturally, no one noticed their sudden appearance. Without drawing any attention, and after bidding farewell to Xiao Ling, Xiaoyan took Yan Jin and Lei Ying to a city called North Sun City. Xiao Yi had left the Xiao clan a few days earlier to return to Yunlo Academy. Xiao Hao, who had welcomed Xiaoyan alongside Xiao Ling, had also joined a sect affiliated with the Xiao clan years ago. The day after Yan Jin and Lei Ying advanced to the sovereign realm, Xiaoyan departed with them. Northern Sun City was named after an elder from Xiao clan history named Desolate Beiyang. Legend held that during the chaos in the Nether Domain, Desolate Beiyang single-handedly slew several senior experts of the Nether Domain in the Eastern Star region, giving the storm-battered Xiao clan a chance to recover. He was ultimately killed by the Domain Lord of the Nether Domain, and this city stood as the Xiao clan's memorial to him. Using the transportation array, the 3 arrived smoothly at Northern Sun City. With a letter from the Great Elder, they were escorted by the city's iron guards to meet the city lord. From him, they obtained a golden feathered eagle, its eyes sharp as lightning, feathers like golden steel needles standing straight, sharp claws gleaming coldly, and wings spanning nearly 10 meters. After bidding farewell to the city lord, Xiaoyan, Yan Jin, and Lei Ying mounted the golden feathered eagle and soared into the sky, rushing at full speed toward Yunlo Academy. As a personal mount of the Xiao clan, each golden feathered eagle received immense training and resources. This one knew the route to Yunlo Academy by heart. It was the same eagle that had previously delivered a message to recall Xiao Yi. At this speed, it will take at least a month. Since you've both advanced to the sovereign realm, going without food or drink for a month shouldn't be a problem. Standing on the eagle's broad back, Xiaoyan watched the shrinking landscape below and glanced at Yan Jin and Lei Ying. The two could only nod and exchange a wry smile. Back in the Daoqi continent, they could tear through space and traverse the entire continent in a day. Here, they were experiencing the long, arduous journey atop a flying devil beast. 1 month. Xiaoyan sighed softly and put it out of his mind. The golden-feathered eagle knew the way, so he could use the time to cultivate some of the secret arts from the Yin Scroll. The more he understood it, the more extraordinary the Yin Scroll seemed. Any of its secret arts rivaled top-tier cultivation techniques, a testament to why Yin Kang's comprehension of the great Yin spirit arts had been so remarkable. Currently, Xiaoyan could only rely on his own understanding to cultivate these techniques. Many aspects remained obscure, so he focused on exploring their core, especially the great Yin burial technique. When the Jade Fairy had used it, its power to devour nearly everything had filled him with envy. While Xiaoyan cultivated, Yan Jin and Lei Ying did not idle. From the Xiao clan, they had obtained powerful monic skills. Now at the sovereign realm, with richer origin energy in their bodies, they could practice many monic skills. Eager to strengthen themselves, they seized the opportunity. Swoosh! In the vast sky, a golden figure streaked by, leaving a faint trail. Its speed was no less than that of a Monic Emperor-level expert traveling at full velocity. Is this the star-severing mountain range? After an unknown number of days, Yan Jin emerged from cultivation and was instantly captivated by the scene below. Everything in sight was completely red. The endless mountain range stretched for tens of thousands of miles, as if splitting the entire star field in two, a majestic sight like furious dragons coiled upon the land. As Yan Jin muttered to himself, Xiaoyan suddenly frowned and withdrew from cultivation. He looked down at a specific location, a trace of doubt flashing in his eyes. The fleeting sensation he had just felt was rather strange. Strange, he murmured but said nothing more. Closing his eyes again, he delved deeper into comprehending the great Yin burial technique. Back when he was waiting in the illusory spirit space to devour refining Monic High Tianyan, he had already cultivated the technique deeply, but as an emperor. Now, with the insight of a Monic emperor, his understanding was entirely different. The golden-feathered eagle turned into a golden streak flashing across the sky. Unnoticed by Xiaoyan and the others, Yin Juxuan, possessed by the soul demon in the black sand castle below, had quietly taken control of many elders of the profound Yin sect. Unknowingly, he had become the strongest overlord in the region. That kid Yin Kang is truly talented. In just a few years, he's already touched the threshold of Monic Emperor. Once he breaks through, I will control him and use him to lure experts from surrounding sects, capturing them all at once. With these sacrifices, I believe it won't be long before Honorable Tai Chi emerges. Inside the profound Yin sect's inner hall, Yin Juxuan's face was ferocious as he laughed wildly. Before him stood dozens of sect elders completely under his control. Creel. Roughly a month later, the golden-feathered eagle, after its long silent flight, suddenly let out a clear, sharp cry, rousing the three from cultivation. We have arrived at the capital of chaos. Be careful. Gazing at the majestic city stretching thousands of miles in the distance, Xiaoyan's expression turned serious. He recalled what Xiao Yi had said. He didn't know what had happened in the capital of chaos recently, but it had grown even more chaotic and disorderly. The golden-feathered eagle let out a low cry as it carried Xiaoyan and the other two toward the capital of chaos. Before them lay an endless black plain dotted with countless cities and towns. Deep within the dense forests, bloody slaughter was constant. In this place, no death ever caused a stir. Yan Jin and Lei Ying, accustomed to grand scenes, showed no surprise. Here, strength dictated the power of life and death, a truth they had long understood. Swoosh! Suddenly, a sharp sword cut through space with a thunderous roar. The golden-feathered eagle, renowned for its speed among flying heavenly beasts, flapped its massive wings and dodged effortlessly. But before it could move again, another sharp sword descended from the sky, ruthlessly aiming for its neck. Screech! Though known for its agility, the eagle couldn't evade this sudden attack. It seemed the sword's gleam was about to pierce straight through it. Crack! In the time it takes for a spark to fly, Xiaoyan rushed out from the eagle's back. With a swing of his arm, the blue flame ruler blocked the oncoming sword. With a sharp crack, the high-tier spirit weapon shattered into 2 pieces. Humph! A surprised exclamation sounded as the attacker saw his ambush easily thwarted. Xiaoyan's face remained expressionless as he looked ahead. A figure slowly emerged from the space before him, a tall, thin man with a stubbled face, dressed in green, appearing entirely ordinary. I miscalculated. I didn't expect a Monic Emperor warrior here. The tall, thin man frowned, glancing at a companion who came to his side, and spoke softly. Who cares? This golden feathered eagle is the Xiao clan's flying devil beast. This kid is likely from the Xiao clan. I remember there's a mission on the chaotic sorter list to capture a Xiao clan member. If he can ride this eagle, his status must be quite high. Fortune has fallen right into our laps. The man beside him was fat and bald, with a fierce scar on his head. He looked at Xiaoyan and spoke in a gloomy voice. Chapter End. Battle Through the Firmament. Great World. Chapter 489. Chaotic Killing List. Die. Xiaoyan did not waste any time talking to the 2 people who had suddenly appeared. He coldly spat out the word, die. The origin key on his back flapped its wings. The blue flame ruler in his hand flickered with crimson gold flames as it rushed towards the 2 of them. Anyone could be an enemy in Capital of Chaos. Although the 2 of them in front of him had reached the Monic Emperor level, since they were the ones who attacked first, he wasn't a person who was afraid of trouble. If he said anything else, it would bring him unnecessary trouble. This place was located in the Black Plain between the inner and outer city of Capital of Chaos. There were very few people here, and the sudden appearance of a Monic Emperor level expert wouldn't attract the attention of many experts. Swoosh! The blue flame ruler leapt over like a crimson dragon, causing the space to surge. Hot origin kiss swept across, pressing against the 2 people in front of them. How arrogant! The tall and thin man coldly harumphed. His strength had already reached the 7th Monic Emperor. Even in the inner city of Capital of Chaos, he could still run amok with his current strength. Although Xiaoyan's strength was vague, he could still sense that Xiaoyan was definitely below the 5th Monic Emperor. There's something strange about that ruler. The bald fatty's expression was slightly serious. He looked at the blue flame ruler in Xiaoyan's hand and spoke softly. After that, he moved his 10 fingers and red-blue flame rulers shot out from his fingertips. It was as if they had turned into countless blood-red giant snakes. The giant snakes roared and wrapped around the blue flame ruler. All right, he saw that his companion had casually wrapped around Xiaoyan's ruler. The tall and skinny man involuntarily revealed joy on his face. His body moved gently and his large hand had already smashed towards Xiaoyan's chest. His other hand grabbed the blue flame ruler in the latter's hand. It was a blue flame ruler that could easily shatter a high-tier spirit weapon. Only a first-grade heavenly weapon could be used. A heavenly weapon was a divine weapon that they coveted. The golden feathered eagle had already carried Yan Jin and Lei Ying away from this place, but it didn't stay far away from them. The golden feathered eagle was also full of spirituality. It flapped its huge wings and joined Yan Jin and Lei Ying on its back. 6 sharp eyes looked at the 3 people who were engaged in a fierce battle in an instant. Humph! Xiaoyan laughed coldly. He suddenly flipped his wrist and the crimson gold flame on the blue flame ruler suddenly expanded. A moment later, numerous hoarse and miserable cries were accompanied by the countless blood-colored long snakes that had wrapped around the blue flame ruler, turning into flying ashes. Bang! At the same time, Xiaoyan's empty palm also came forward to meet the attack. It collided with the palm of the tall and thin man. In an instant, the origin key whistled and the space exploded. The tall and thin man let out a low roar and couldn't help but retreat. Xiaoyan merely shook his shoulders and returned to normal. With the origin key that was merged with yin and yang, the strength of Xiaoyan's origin key. It was not any weaker than any Monic Emperor level expert. 8 directional thunder ruler. Xiaoyan did not stop as he struck out with his palm. His body followed closely behind. The crimson gold flame on the blue flame ruler suddenly emitted golden lightning. The lightning streaked across the sky, causing the air to rumble. It seemed to have gathered an endless amount of furious lightning as it ruthlessly struck towards the tall and thin man. Blood Moon Great Wheel Seal. The tall and thin man's eyelids twitched violently. A trace of fear surged into his heart for some unknown reason when he saw the numerous lightning bolts rushing towards him. He recovered his senses in an instant and suddenly waved both of his hands. The origin key all over his body surged out wildly, forming a blood-red full moon the size of a millstone behind him in an instant. Sizzle sizzle, the blood-red full moon came crushing over. It seemed to have crushed the air as it faced the furious lightning that came rushing over. In an instant, the blood-red origin key spread and wrapped around countless lightning bolts, crazily swallowing them. Boom! At the instant Xiaoyan and the skinny and tall man confronted each other, another ferocious-looking fat man suddenly appeared beside Xiaoyan. His hand was like a bolt of lightning as it smashed towards Xiaoyan's chest. It carried a myriad of gravity as it shattered the space around it. Xiao! Xiaoyan's expression did not change at all. He laughed loudly and a flame erupted from his body. Before the fat man could see clearly, the flame had already transformed into a small figure. A punch landed on the latter's abdomen. In an instant, the fat man let out a miserable cry as he flew backwards like a cannonball. What a waste! I estimate that he is at most a 5th daimonic emperor. Xiao twisted its body and returned to its normal size. It looked at the unconscious fatty with disdain and pouted its small mouth as it spoke indifferently. Its strength had made sufficient progress during this period of time. It was as easy as chopping vegetables and melons to deal with these ordinary Monic Emperor warriors. He. Retracting his gaze, Xiao suddenly chuckled. His malicious gaze stared at the tall and skinny man not far away. With a flick of his small hand, a long golden mace appeared in his hand. It was the golden cauldron blood flame mace that he had snatched from Yin Juxuan back then. After being refined by Xiao for such a long period of time, it had completely become a suitable spirit weapon for him. The tall and skinny man's face suddenly turned pale when he saw that Xiao, which had suddenly appeared, had defeated his companion with a single strike. A trace of hesitation flashed across his face. Finally, he clenched his teeth and the origin key within his body shook. The blood-red full moon broke free from his control and shattered with a loud bang along with a couple of rolling thunderbolts. What is it? Xiaoyan lifted his eyebrows. He let out a cold laugh when he saw this. After which, he slowly withdrew his blue flame ruler. His eyes were filled with caution, and he was constantly paying attention to his surroundings. Little brother, it is us brothers who are blind. Please forgive us. After deliberating for a while, the tall and thin man spoke in a deep voice. Although he was unwilling to accept this, he had no choice but to submit under the pressure of Xiaoyan and Xiao, whose strength was unknown. If he wasn't careful, he might really die here today. Being able to bend and stretch was one of the best ways to survive in the capital of chaos. What is that chaotic slaughter list? Xiaoyan was too lazy to talk nonsense with him and asked directly. It's a kind of assassin list in Capital of Chaos. Every major power can post a mission on it at a price tag. Anyone can accept the mission on it. After completing it, you will be rewarded handsomely. The tall and thin man spoke slowly, but his eyes were secretly rotating. He was thinking of a way to escape. Suddenly, his eyes paused, and he saw Yan Jin and Lei Ying who were on the golden feathered eagle not far away. I see, but that guy just said that someone wanted a person from the Xiao clan. What's going on? Xiaoyan looked at the tall and thin man with a bright light flashing in his eyes. It's a mission issued by the Thunder Cloud clan. As for the exact reason, we don't know either, the tall and thin man said as he took the opportunity to look at Xiaoyan. Thunder Cloud clan. No wonder. Xiaoyan was stunned when he heard this. Then, as if he had thought of something, a look of understanding flashed across his face. Swoosh! In an instant, the tall and thin man's body suddenly moved violently. In the blink of an eye, He had arrived not far away from the golden feathered eagle. He opened his big hand, and the origin key roared. It transformed into a huge net and wrapped itself around Yan Jin and Lei Ying. With these two fellows, the Xiao clan kid would not dare to attack him. Therefore, his chances of escaping would be much higher. Courting death. Xiaoyan's eyes were fixed. Immediately, he laughed coldly. The origin key under his feet galloped. His body moved and he arrived behind the tall and skinny man. A fist that was wrapped with scarlet, gold, and blue flames was gently swung. The enormous flame fist had quietly penetrated the chest of Yan Jin and Lei Ying just as the large origin key net was about to wrap around them. It is even weaker than Lei Yunting. Xiaoyan withdrew his hand with a cold smile. He kicked the tall and thin man down and the Thunder Cloud clan had reached the capital of chaos, but in this case, wouldn't they need someone from the Xiao clan? It was a good opportunity for them to see who had such an idea. Thinking of this, Xiaoyan smiled lightly. There was a hint of coldness in his eyes. Chapter End. Battle Through the Firmament. Great World. Chapter 490. Lightning Cloud Illumination. Who are these two? When Xiaoyan arrived, Lei Ying couldn't help but ask. Although he was weak, he had a good feeling that these two enemies were no weaker than Xiaoyan. He didn't expect that they would be easily killed by the latter. After saying this, Lei Ying and Yan Jin looked at the Xiao beside them. Both of them were quite surprised by the latter's sudden appearance. I don't know, but there's no need to know. Xiaoyan landed on the back of the golden feathered eagle. Xiao also sat down beside him. It rubbed the huge head of the golden feathered eagle. The latter let out a soft cry and swiftly rushed in the direction of the Yunlo Academy. Xiao Yi is right. Something has happened in the capital of chaos. I never thought that the Thunder Cloud clan would be able to infiltrate this place. Xiaoyan's eyes turned slightly serious, and he remained silent. He was well aware of the mission given by the Thunder Cloud clan on the chaotic slaughter list. The biggest possibility was that they had found out about Xiao Yi's arrival in the Yunlo Academy. The Thunder Cloud clan wanted to use this opportunity to capture Xiao Yi and interrogate him about the sudden behavior of the elders in the inner city of the Xiao clan. He was able to recognize us from the Xiao clan just by relying on the golden feathered eagle. It seems like the people of the Thunder Cloud clan have done a thorough investigation. Xiaoyan smiled and suddenly spoke. He looked at Yan Jin and Lei Ying and said, "Take the golden feathered eagle and head to the Yunlo Academy first. I will go to the capital of chaos to meet them. Xiaoyan, don't be reckless." Upon hearing this, Yan Jin hastily spoke. They had heard some things about the capital of chaos in Xiao clan. The strength of a monarch emperor was nothing in this place. "Don't worry, I know what to do." Xiaoyan didn't explain anything. He said indifferently, "Those elders of Yunlo Academy should know about the golden feathered eagle. If they ask about it, you can mention Xiao Yi's name. With his ability, it won't be a problem for you all to settle down. We'll talk about the rest after I return." After saying that, Xiaoyan patted the golden feathered eagle's head and called out to Xiao. The two of them soared into the sky. The origin key on their backs flapped and they flew away. What a crazy guy. Yan Jin watched Xiaoyan leave with his eyes. He couldn't help but sigh. Although he said that, there was a hint of soreness in his tone. It wasn't that they didn't want to have Xiaoyan's heroic spirit, but it was a pity that his strength was weak. If he went, he would only be a burden. Swoosh! While the two of them were muttering to themselves, the golden feathered eagle had already let out a loud cry. It was like a huge bird spreading its wings as it swiftly flew in the direction of the Yunlo Academy. On the west side of the inner city of capital of chaos, in a majestic golden building, dozens of people were seated. The gazes were all directed towards the seat of honor. There, two middle-aged men were chatting and laughing. Master Black Nether Emperor is really good at this. He has created a chaotic slaughter list. This capital of chaos is truly a chaotic place. A man with a gloomy expression looked at the man in embroidered robe in front of him with a smile. He fiddled with the two jade pearls in his hands as if he was talking to himself. The man in brocade robe only smiled when he heard this. He didn't seem angry at all. Originally, Capital of Chaos was extremely xenophobic. When Mercenary Alliance entered this place, it was all because of the deputy sectmaster's interference that Heaven, Surmounting Monarch and the others finally relented. Now, Heaven Surmounting Monarch and the others have been in secluded cultivation for a long time. With Black Nether Emperor's strength, he could be considered the #1 person in Capital of Chaos. It wouldn't be a big deal for him to slightly change the rules. The corners of the mouth of the shady man who was called Sectmaster Hong raised slightly as he said, "I'm just the sectmaster of a small sect. We have no right to question what Lord Black Nether Emperor is doing. But Lord Lei Yun is right. It's time to change the old rules of Capital of Chaos." The man named Lei Yunzhao laughed and said, "In my opinion, it's necessary for the chaotic slaughter list to appear. The previous Yunlo ranking and so on. It's nothing more than a child's play. Who would care about a true expert?" "That's what you said." Hong Xing smiled faintly and did not deny it. At least to him, even the #1 genius of Yunlo, Mu Yuyang, was not worth his effort. At his level, those Monarch crystals were nothing to him. The Yunlo Academy was lucky enough to obtain the first place in the 4 academies competition. This achievement is truly rare. When Su Jiang invited all the major and minor powers in the Capital of Chaos to celebrate, the heavens had conveyed the message to them. In this way, those guys from the Yunlo Academy won't dare to make a move during this period of time. After regaining his senses, Hong Xing's voice was deep and his eyes were flickering with uncertainty. "If I remember correctly, your Thunder Cloud clan issued a killing order a few days ago in the Capital of Chaos. It was to catch that Xiao Yi from the Xiao clan, right?" "According to what I know, Xiao Yi didn't participate in the 4 academies competition." "What do you want him to do?" "Hey," Lei Yunzhao smiled. His sharp eyes swept across the crowd below. All the people who saw him hurriedly lowered their heads. Sectmaster Hong knows as well. It can be said in the text. The person who won the first place in the 4 academies competition is called Xiaoyan, although he doesn't know much about it. I didn't see him that time, but he has achieved so much. He was definitely the descendant of an old monster from the Xiao clan. I really want to catch him. However, to be able to defeat Kang Feng of the Kang family. Even a true emperor cultivation might not be able to defeat him. I can only take second place. The Thunder Cloud clan's big hand grabbed the armrest of the chair. As they spoke, the armrest was almost crushed. Hong Xing didn't speak when he heard this. His eyes were cold as he waited for Lei Yunzhao to speak. A few days ago, a spy from the Thunder Cloud clan in the Taiching mansion of the Xiao clan sent a message. Something big seems to have happened in the inner city of the Xiao clan. At that time, Xiao Yi was also in Xiao clan. With his identity, he definitely knew something. After a pause, Lei Yunzhao's face turned gloomy. The Xiao clan has the Golden Emperor Phoenix Heavenly Flame. Although the Thunder Cloud clan doesn't have the Monarch Flame, we do have the rare Great Profound Strong Wind Thunder in the world. Initially, I thought that the 4 academies competition could cripple Xiao Yi this time, but I never thought that Xiaoyan would be the one to make the Xiao clan grow stronger once again. Hong Xing smiled coldly. He put away the jade pearl in his hand and said, "I have no interest in getting involved in the grudges between you major families. You can do whatever you want. However, my subordinates are very interested in your killing order and have taken over it. In that case, it's better than nothing. Currently, it's not good for the Thunder Cloud clan to attack Xiao Yi openly. It would be best if the Extreme Star Group, ranked 8th among the chaotic 100 clans, attacked." Lei Yunzhao was overjoyed when he heard this. He hastily stood up and cupped his fists at Hong Xing. "We are just benefiting from each other." Hong Xing smiled faintly, after which, he walked towards the exit. Below him, nearly half of the Extreme Star Group disciples followed closely behind. The smile on Lei Yunzhao's face gradually disappeared as he watched Hong Xing and the rest leave. He stared in front of him without saying a word. He was lost in thought for a long time before he patted his head and said in a somewhat vexed manner, "How could I forget? Lei Yunting's nephew has also participated in the 4 Academies competition. He knows what Shaoyan looks like. I should ask him about it." Lightly pursing his lips, Lei Yunzhao slowly walked to the outside of the pavilion. He looked at the darkening sky and suddenly let out a ferocious laugh. Along with the sudden sound of angry thunder, the former's laughter resounded throughout the entire region. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.